Right. So, welcome, guys. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day.
Yeah.
Karen, I got the chance to see Andrea on Monday.
Nice.
Yes. I told her I was so lucky I get to see you all the time. Andrea and I saw each other in person outdoors.
Wow.
It's okay.
But it was so nice. We actually went to an outdoor yoga class together.
Cool.
So it was really, really nice in the park. So,
very nice.
Yeah. So Rochelle, Andrea is Karen's cousin, and that's how Karen and I met. So it's kind of cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Do you know Andrea Brenner?
Say again?
I was asking if Rochelle knows Andrea.
Oh, probably not, because I know Rochelle from a totally different circle. So I'm going to guess probably not.
No, I don't know.
All right. So and Rochelle's getting ready to head back to Michigan. So she'll really be long distance like you every week. One Michigan, one Virginia, one Florida. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and.
The best part about the pandemic to me is that, people that moved away are, I see them every week. It's great.
Right, exactly. It has the silver linings are there. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
no doubt. I feel the same way, and it's definitely a yogic perspective as well, to be able to, flip the script and to be able to look at things from a different perspective.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and mute so we can get started. All right, and I'm actually going to ask you to lay down on your back. So lay down on your back for the opening of our class today. And when you lay down, you can choose any shape of your body that feels comfortable. Whether it's conscious resting pose with the knees bent and the feet flat on the floor. Maybe you even like to have, a butterfly shape, or maybe just traditional laying out on your back in Shavasana. And so we'll begin by really paying attention. And so I love even the title of this class, right? That long title that it actually says on the website. Slow Flow Yoga, the wisdom of slowing down. So I have really enjoyed incorporating a slower and slower practice for myself. Another silver lining of the pandemic, because the slower you move, the more opportunity you get to notice the details. So as we begin slowly here and now, we're going to tune into the senses to help us notice the details. Perhaps closing your eyes so the other senses will awaken a little more. Start with the sense of hearing. Can you identify 3 sounds? Maybe it's something close by in the room with you, or something further away elsewhere in your home or outside. And then, without moving or changing the shape of your body, observe the location of your hands. Feel what they are touching. Maybe they're on your body, or maybe on the ground. Maybe it's the back of the hand making a connection, or the side, the pinky side of the hand, or maybe the palm of the hand. Just feel where your hands are. And likely you chose that position for your hands because it feels comfortable or soothing for you. Draw your attention now to your nose. As you breathe in, can you smell anything familiar or maybe even unfamiliar? And without changing the shape of the face, just try to take a swallow with whatever is currently in the mouth. Just swallow, seeing if that swallow enables you to taste something there. And then coming back to the nose, as you breathe in and out of the nose, pay attention to how the air feels inside the nostrils. Notice if you are free and open and clear in that breathing through the nose. Maybe a little blocked in both sides or one or the other. And then can you feel the sensation of the air touching the inside of the nostrils? And when you are ready, bring your hands together at your heart center. Right? Maybe you choose to bring the palms down on the chest, or maybe you touch the palms toward each other in traditional Anjali Mudra. And in this moment, I'm going to ask you to choose a word or maybe even a phrase of what you want to carry with you into your day. I'll come back to that word or phrase several times during our practice today. Those details of what you want to carry with you. And then allow your eyes to open. And as the eyes open, use that sense of sight to look around your space. Notice where you are. And then if the legs are bent, see if you can extend them. Reach the arms up and over the head and create a nice amount of length on the body. Point the toes and point the fingers. So, right, meaning not like a pointer finger, but just all the fingers extending out and away from you over your head as your toes point out and away from you at the opposite end of your mat. And now flex the feet and flex the hands. So maybe the fingertips come onto the floor and the wrists kind of push up a little toward the ceiling. The heels drive forward. So it's a flexed hand and a flexed foot. Yeah, details. And then go back and forth between that point and flex. So point fingers and point toes. Maybe you get more extension. And then flex hands and feet. So go back and forth, maybe 2 or 3 times. And then on your next exhalation, let's hug the right leg in. Flex the toes on both feet. You can hold on around the shin or behind the thigh, behind the knee, right? And maybe lifting head and chest if that calls to you here, drawing shoulders away from ear. Can you still feel that breath coming in and out through the nose? Maybe start to create that ujjayi breath, a slight constriction in the back of the throat, slowing the breath down even more. And then when you're ready, lower that head down, straighten that leg up toward the ceiling, holding on behind the thigh, below the knee. Yeah, and then flex and point again a few times. Maybe you can do it with both feet, even though one is down and one is up. Can you see the subtle or maybe huge differences in the flex and point when the leg is extended to the air versus laying on the ground? So simple, but so powerful. This is mindfulness right here. And then let's leave that foot in a flexed position. Release the hands so that they are palms facing toward each other, maybe on either side of the thigh. All right. And take a nice breath in. As you exhale, lift head and chest again, reaching fingers toward the front of the mat, but not holding onto the leg if that's possible and available for you. All right. You could even float that left foot up an inch or two. Say good morning to your core. One more nice breath. And exhale, lower everything down. Lower the arms, lower the legs, lower the head and shoulders, and just let everything go. Literally, puddle the body. Puddle the body. Ooh, so good. Next inhale, arms reach up and over the head. Right, really reach and extend, and use an exhalation to hug the left leg in. Maybe lifting head and chest again here, flexing toes, getting a little extension. So notice how much core you can use, not straining your neck or your jaw. Lowering the head and the chest, and then straightening the left leg up to the ceiling. Hold on behind the thigh and start the point and flex with the left leg up and the right leg down. Woo, yeah. Maybe one side is tighter than the other. There's that old yogi saying, usually one side is tight and the other one's tighter. Yeah, so just move through it best as you can. Slow, methodical, and mindful so that you get all the details. And then hold in the flex position, strong in the core. Release the hands, reach them forward, palms face one another. Big inhale. Exhale, lift head and chest, reaching fingers toward the front of the mat. Maybe that's the end of the mat. Depends on how we perceive it, right? So perhaps that right leg can lift up and float a little bit as well. And if you needed to, right, support the head a little bit. If you find that you're using too much neck, maybe one hand goes and supports the head here. One more breath in. And exhale, slowly lower everything down. And once everything touches down, puddle the body again, just puddle. Right? Feel that sensation of letting go. Oh, nice. And then with your next inhalation, sweep the arms up and over the head, legs closer together. Extend through that pointed shape on both ends once again. And as you exhale, hug both knees into your chest, maybe lifting head and chest up toward this little teeny ball. And then keep the knees bent, lower the head down. Shift the hands to hold on behind the knees, right? So we're gonna rock forward and back here. I'd like you to just experiment, right? Knowing that I say this often, if it feels like you are rocking forward and back on a bed of nails, don't do it. If it feels like a nice little massage, do it a few times. And then see if you can land in boat pose, right? So the next time you come up, right, hovering here in boat pose. Maybe you need to put the feet down. Maybe you can leave them floating. Maybe you can release the arms forward, waking up the core. So every bit of detail, right? Are you rounding and slouching, or can you lift the heart a little bit and lean back? Are you flexing the toes for a little bit more stability, reaching the fingers, and can you still feel the sensation of the breath coming in and out of the nose? Beautiful. When you are ready, slowly release the feet to the floor, bring the body forward, let everything go with a gentle hug or puja posture. Chin toward chest, belly softens. Right. That beautiful balance between effort and ease. And then we're going to slowly make our way into a tabletop position. So get there any way that serves you. Nice. And when you arrive in tabletop, organize that tabletop, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Yeah, maybe a little padding for the knees. That's so smart. I see that. All right, I've got a double mat, actually technically a triple mat on mine. So I got one in a T and one in a double. So it gives me a lot of squishiness on my knees. That's really good. All right, spread the fingers wide. And let's just bring the hips a little side to side. So a little right and a little left. Nice and slowly, next time you come over to the left, keep the hips as far to the left as you can go with the knees staying on the ground. Turn the head and upper torso to look over the right shoulder so that you're starting to create like a C shape. And then maybe a little contraction, a little squeeze of the oblique muscles on the right side, right around the rib area. Yeah. And then come back through center, inhale, dip the hips over to the right, slowly start to look over the left shoulder, getting a nice C-shaped stretch, and maybe even giving that little squeeze to the oblique muscles around the left ribs. Inhale, come back to the center. Now step your hands forward, one full hand's length, and then pull yourself back into an extended child's pose. See if you can let the forehead rest on the floor. Maybe you use a block, but with the extension, right, we're trying to allow the elbows and the forearms to be up off the mat, feeling all that space in the armpit and the shoulder blades. Breathe right in between those shoulder blades. Good. And then when you're ready, lift your head up and then rock the body forward. We're going to stretch out those wrists a little bit and see if you can come a little further forward toward that high cobra, right? Maybe the hips come down, maybe the chest rises. That's a big back bend and a nice stretch for the belly. Right, those boat poses and so forth, we're all working that core. This is a really nice stretch. So take a good breath here. And as you exhale, start to tilt the pelvis, round the spine, chin to chest, pull yourself all the way back to that extended child's pose. So we're gonna go back and forth this way. Inhale, forward and up. And exhale, round and back, right? So use your core here, right? Allow that core to be strong as you lift the hips away from the heels. You are like rounded, almost like a kitty cat pose as you come rock forward. You extend the heart forward and up. And pull from the pit of the belly so that core comes first. Yeah, and then when you find yourself back in child's pose, pause there again. Take this moment to come back to your one word or phrase that you want to carry with you, not only through this practice, but through this day and beyond. And then with an inhale, lift the head up, rock forward again. This time, stop when you are part way forward. Tuck those toes under, lift those knees up into your first plank pose. Okay, so with fingers spread wide and shoulders over wrists, take a moment maybe just to tip the head down, look toward the belly and toward the thighs. Right? Notice if there's any like saggy or droopy happening here. Pull up and get a little puffy in the upper back, a little stronger in the core. One more breath. Good. And then lower the left knee down. And we're going to come into a side tabletop. So that left foot can pivot off to the left a little. Left hand centers. Right foot flattens. Right toes point to the right. And that right arm comes out and up. All right. Beautiful. So lots of options here, right? You could stay just right here, but notice if you're wobbling at all, or if you're feeling at all off balance. How can you center yourself? Can you identify what needs to be done to give you more stability? Maybe it just comes from that core, yeah? Or maybe you can float that right leg up and flex it like crazy. So we're driving through the heel, challenging our balance a little bit more. Yeah. And you could also take that right arm and extend it over the ear, reaching toward the front of your mat, getting a full elongation on the whole right side of your body. Good. And then slowly lower the foot, lower the hand, and lower the knee. Good. Tap back to child's pose. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, lift the head up, rock the body forward, and press back into your first downward facing dog. All right, walk the dog here. Paddle out the feet. Maybe those hips go side to side again, just like they did in table. Perhaps waking up a little different muscle groups. And then settle yourself in stillness. And then lift the heels up. Stretch out the neck of the toes. Yeah, looking good. When the heels go up, can you let the hips go higher and the head go lower? Yeah, nice. Now look forward, mindfully and slowly, rock the body forward into that plank pose. Organize it. Notice if you need any adjustment. If your down dog might have been a little shorter than what is good alignment for your body. Right, pulling up from the pit of the belly, strengthening. Can you still feel that breath sensation coming in and out of your nose? Maybe that little constriction in the back of the throat. Again, Ujjayi breathing. Good, and then slowly lower down the right knee, and we're gonna take this side tabletop to the right. So the right foot pivots slightly off to the right, right hand centers, left foot flattens, and inhale, left arm reaches out and up. Yeah, and so maybe this right here is enough. I'm gonna turn this way so I can see you guys. Yeah, right, and Rochelle's already like, I'm ready to play. Yeah, so if you wanna play, lift that leg up, flex it like crazy, and observe the details, right? What helps you to stay stable here? Maybe extending left arm, bicep over ear, nice elongation. Good, breath in and breath out. Beautifully done. When you are ready, slowly foot down, hand down, knee down. Tap back to child's pose. One good breath in. Exhale it out, and then rock forward and push back, down dog. All right, this time in your down dog, see if you can resist the urge to fidget. Try to hold still, right? Notice those details. Good. And then let's lift and elevate the heels. As you lift the heels up, can you let the hips go higher and the head go lower? Make sure you're breathing. Beautiful. And then look forward. Rock the body forward back into that plank pose. Okay. Now, pay attention to your breath. With an exhalation, lift the hips, press back, downward facing dog. Can you step the feet together to touch? So the balls of the feet are touching here in downward dog. Lift and elevate the heels again. Rock the body forward into plank. It's going to feel really different here. All right, and then we're going to play around with what we call Vashisthasana, which is the same pose we just did with the knee down. I'm going to try and do it with the knee up. If you need to lower the right knee down, by all means do so. Rocking the heels over to the right. Right, strong on that right arm. See if you can lift that left arm up, coming into a side plank pose. Woo, right? You can always lower that right knee. Strong and beautiful. One more breath. And slowly lower the left hand down, plank pose and pause. And when you're ready, rocking those heels over to the left and sweeping that right arm up. Vashisthasana, right here. Right, so what do you need to do to stabilize? Engage the core, flex the toes, and breathe. Don't be uncomfortable if you need to lower that left knee. When you are ready, slowly left right hand down. Good, knees down and child's pose. Oh, hallelujah. Yeah. So bring the arms down by your side this time. In traditional child's pose, palms face upward, and you can make a fist with your hands and roll the back of your wrists here. Right, that happens to be a nice counteraction for all the work that those wrists do in Vashisthasana. And then bring the arms up behind your back, interlace the fingers, right? Squeeze the shoulder blades together, maybe lifting the arms up away from the lower back. Good. And then with an inhale, rise on up to the shins, pulling those arms with you, or letting the arms pull the torso. Oh, good. Look over your right shoulder, draw the knuckles to the left. And then keep that basket hand, come through center, draw those arms over to the right and look to the left. Right, so if we keep a basket hand woven, we can get a nice stretch on the wrist in the other direction. Good. And then come to the center, release the arms, inhale, sweep them out and up. And exhale, hands come forward and push yourself back into a downward facing dog. So good. All right, find stillness. Lift your right leg up, hip height. Toes are pointing down. Breath flowing freely. Three-legged dog. In your three-legged dog, can you try to root the left heel down a little bit more? Getting a bigger stretch in the back of that left leg. And now lift the left heel up, right? So you're deep in the neck of those toes again. Bend the right knee into the belly and start to draw the nose toward the knee. Really squeeze it in. Good. Now lift the head up, rock the body forward, right knee squeezing in, and then we step the right foot next to the right thumb. Lunge position. Let's lower the left knee, making sure the left knee is behind the hip, and then lift the head and chest here. Good. And with an inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Oh, so good. Angiasana, crescent lunge. All right, so pay attention to the details. That left hip flexor is getting a nice stretch here. The hip flexor works really strong in any of those core balancing postures. Here's an opportunity to give it some openness. And then let the right hand hold onto the left wrist, flex the wrist, and lean the body to the right, just slightly, maybe finding a little bit more detail in that stretch. Good, inhale, come back up to the center, and exhale, hands come down to frame that foot, and slowly start to rock the hips back, straightening through that right leg. All right, so start by folding in over the leg and pointing the toes, right? Notice if your hips like naturally kind of lean to the left, that happens a lot here. Draw the hips a little bit back toward the center or maybe toward the right. And then lift your head up and look toward your toes. Really point the toes, stretch out the top of the foot, the top of the ankle. And then maybe shifting the position so the toes lift, right? More of a flex position, and observe, what a different part of the leg that awakens, yeah? And all right, now start to bend into that right knee, coming back to the lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up, yeah. And we're going to take it back and forth from this Angiasana to that Ardha Hanumanasana, that half splits pose. So big breath in here. Exhale, hands down and rock hips back, straighten through leg, maybe lift toes. Good, let's take that 2 times on your own, right? Bending into the knee, rising up into the Angiasana. And exhaling back to Ardha Hanumanasana. Last one, best one. Looking good, girls. Good. And after that last half splits, bend that right knee again, tuck the left toes under, and step the left foot forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. All right, so hold here in a forward fold. I always like to start my forward fold with feet hips distance or wider, right? So got lots of space in the back of the legs, and choose the position for your arms that's calling you here, right? Just like you chose the position for your hands when you were laying on your back when we started class. Maybe they're dangling down, the palms, backs of hands on the floor. Maybe you're grabbing opposite elbows, or maybe you're holding onto the calves. Like, choose the hand position that feels good for you here, and breathe. Notice the breath coming in and out of the nose again. Is it more blocked or more open when you're upside down? And then bring the hands to the shins. Inhale, lift up, lengthen halfway with a flat back, and exhale, fold. Good. Reverse the swan dive, sweep the arms out, rise on up, arms reach up, Urdhva Hastasana, maybe catching a back bend here if it feels good. And exhale, arms down by your side, mountain pose, Tadasana. Pause, almost like that puddling effect that we did on our backs earlier. Just relax the body, but stay stable and steady. Good. Come back to that one word or phrase that you want to carry with you. With an inhale, arms reach forward and up. With an exhalation, swan dive, soft bend in the knees, forward fold. Good. Fingers to your shins. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. Exhale, fold deeply. Hands to the floor, step back to your plank pose. All right, organize your plank here. And then release your knees exactly where they are. So the knees are behind the hips. Yeah. And then we're going to take 3 little baby push-ups. So rock the body forward, strong core here, elbows squeeze in by the ribs. Just bend the elbows and lower and hover a little. And then push back up, simple, yeah, but not easy. Rock a little forward, bend the elbows, lower a little, hover. Push back up, one more time. Big breath in. Exhale, bend those elbows, lower a little, hover. Push back up, and then push the body back into child's pose and breathe. Puddle here in child's pose, one more breath. Good. And then lift the head up, rock the body forward, press back, downward facing dog. All right, find that stillness here. And when you're ready, lift that left leg, hip height. Try to press that right heel down a little bit more. It does not have to touch, just different sensation, different details. Yeah. Good. And then lift the right heel up on the ball of the toes, left one staying stable. And then bend that left knee in toward the belly, nose toward knee, round, squeeze. There's that hip flexor again. Good. Keep the knee in, lift the head up, rock the body forward, and step that left foot next to the left thumb. Lower down the right knee. Good. Ooh, yeah, lunge position. Make sure that right knee is behind the hip. And then with an inhale, slowly rise up into that Angiasana or crescent lunge position. So good. Breath in and breath out. Beautiful. All right, left hand holds right wrist. Flex that right wrist. Big inhale. Exhale, lean the body to the left. Bigger stretch across the right core. And then inhale, rise up to the center. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot. And we slowly rock back to that Ardha Hanumanasana or half splits pose. Start first by just letting the body round. Letting the legs straighten to as much as is available. You can always have hands on blocks here. You can always keep the knee as bent as you need here. Yeah. And then notice if the hips are kind of drifting off to the right. Can you draw the hips to the left a little bit so they come more centered? And then lift the head up, look toward the left toes and really point the left toes. Get a really good stretch on the top of that left foot. All right, shift it to a flexed position. Lift the toes slowly, take your time. Maybe they come just toes up, maybe the whole foot comes up, just the heel is resting on the mat. Ooh, hello, back of left leg. All right, when you're ready, start to bend back into that left knee. Stabilize and inhale, rise on up to that low crescent lunge. And we're gonna flow with our breath. Exhale, hands come back down and we rock the hips back into that Ardha Hanumanasana. So let's take 3 cycles in full here. Bending into the knee, coming forward, lifting up. Exhaling, coming back down and rocking back, half splits. Inhale, forward and up. And exhale, back and down. So good. And then bending the knee, coming forward again. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. And step right foot up to meet the left, forward fold, hang again, choose the position for your hands that feels most comfortable for you. Can you still feel the sensation of the breath coming in and out of those nostrils? Good. Fingers on shins, halfway, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold back in. Sweep the arms out and rise on up. Maybe catching that little back bend here. And then hands come to the heart. Hands then down by your side, traditional Tadasana. See if you can create that puddle-like sensation without completely letting go of everything. So good. When you're ready, put a smile on your face. Come back to that one word, that phrase that you want to carry with you. One more little standing flow here. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, soften knees and forward fold. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. Exhale, fold deeply. Step your right leg back into a nice long stance lunge with the knee lifted. If you want to lower the right knee down again, you can. When you're ready, rise on up, arms reach forward and up. High variation of crescent lunge. Lift that heart, feel the balance. One more breath. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot and start to rock the hips back, straighten through that left leg and fold in. Right heel reaching toward the floor, it doesn't have to touch. Yeah, good. Bend back into that left knee and right foot steps forward. Fingers to shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold deeply. Sweep the arms out. Rise on up, a little standing back bend if it feels good. And exhale, hands to the heart. And let's take it again on the other side. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. And exhale, fold deeply. Good. Let's stepping and lunging that left leg back. Finding that nice lunge position and stability. Rise up with an inhale when you're ready. High crescent lunge, opposite side. Getting length in the side ribs, lift of the heart, breath flowing free. Feel every beautiful detail. One more inhale. Exhale, hands come forward, framing the foot and the right leg straightens and we hinge back a little, folding in over that leg, left heel reaching toward the floor, doesn't have to touch. Bending back into that right knee and step that left foot forward to meet the right. Fingers to shins, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. And exhale, hands to the heart, Samastitihi. Arms down by your side, Tadasana. Pause and breathe. Good. Find that puddle sensation here again. Beautifully done. All right, making our way down to the mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, soft knees, forward fold. Good. Step back to a downward facing dog. Lower the knees down and shift onto the bottom. Come back to a seated position and traditional Sukhasana. Good. So before we lay on down, like this is actually our first Sukhasana, this whole practice, because we started on our backs and then we went into a table sequence and standing postures. Right, so first seated meditative shape of the body. Notice the details. Notice the positions of the hands that you chose. Close your eyes. Tap into the senses. And then slowly bring the arms back behind you, lean back, separate the cross so that the soles of the feet come together, the knees open wide. Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. All right, leaning back into those hands. We're going to take a nice oblique twist stretch here. Inhale, lift that left arm up. And as it comes across the midline, bring that left leg with you. Stack the knees and rotate all the way around so that left hand comes to the floor as close as you can to the right hand. Look over the right shoulder and twist those beautiful obliques. Nice stretch here. And then inhale, left arm up, and after it crosses as it crosses the midline, open the knee wide, lower the hand down, and we'll switch sides. Inhale, right up, and then stacking those knees, rotating all the way around, right hand to the floor as close as you can to the left. Look over the left shoulder and breathe. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, lower hand and knees spread wide. Good. Walk, walk, walk the body closer so that you are sitting up tall, bringing the hands either to the shins or ankles or feet. Sit up tall for a breath here. And then exhale, bend the elbows, hinge forward, maybe letting those elbows encourage a deeper opening. You could even slide the hands to the toes and allow your body to round the spine here, head go. And slowly lifting the head up, rising up, closing up those knees, and giving yourself a hug here, puja. And then lift the head here, slide the hands underneath those knees, behind the knees, lean back. And maybe one last opportunity to feel the strength of the core, lifting the feet up back into boat pose and slowly lowering yourself down. When you do, extend your legs, reach your arms back to the beginning. A nice stretch here. And then exhale, hug both knees in. And we're going to let knees relax to the left and open the right arm out to the right. Turn the head to the right. Supine twist. Can you still feel that sensation of the breath, the air inside the nostrils? Slowly and mindfully coming back through the center and taking the twist in the other direction. Knees go right. Left arm opens out to the left. And we breathe a couple of rounds of breath in this twist on this side. Inhale, bring your body back through to the center. Place your feet on the ground, knees bent. Bring your hands to your torso. Keep one hand on your belly. Slide one hand to your heart. In this moment, come back to your one word or phrase. As you feel ready, release the hands from the body. Lower the legs down the mat. Keep them wider than your hips. Let the feet flop open. Let the arms turn open. And allow that ultimate puddle to form here. So that your body is like water and it just spreads. So in this next stage of our practice that we call Shavasana, the sense that I would like you to use would be the sense of awareness. So that you are paying attention to what is happening to you. You are the observer of you. attention to the base of your nose, the nostrils, where that breath comes in. And feel once again how it feels on the inside of your nose. Breathe a little bigger. Let the breath come in. Let the breath go back out. So taking your time, perhaps some slow movement of the fingers or toes, maybe that flex and point of the wrists and the ankles. And eventually bending the knees and lifting the arm up of your favorite side that you want to rock onto. So lift the arm up, roll onto the side, let the arm be a pillow for your head. And then slowly pushing your body up into seated position, Sukhasana, once again. I invite you to bring your hands to your heart center. So the slower you move, the more opportunity you have to notice the details. And perhaps this slow movement doesn't only have to pertain to the physical body, but it's taking your time doing what you need to do, right? So that you don't miss a thing and that the details are meticulous and important. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti He. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. May this practice always be a source of peace for each one of you. Take that word, take that phrase, take this feeling and this practice with you. Carry it with you into your day. Thank you for practicing with me and for trusting me to guide you as always through this ancient and most magical practice we call yoga. Have a wonderful and wise Wednesday. Namaste. So great, girls.